expert, our speaker, Dr. Walter Ho, our panelist, Brigadier P.S. Gurung, the President, Dr. of IAPESGW, Rocha, Dr. Sanjay Prajapati, Ms. Pooja, and all my dear PE teachers, a warm welcome to you all. We'll have an introduction later, but today it's Onam. It's a festival of Kerala, and we'd like to give you a glimpse of it, just showing a brief video. So we start with that. Video, please.
This festival is exclusive to the Kerala state, and if you're planning to tour the state, check the place out in the Onam season, as the festivities are grand and the visuals spectacular. Onam is celebrated by every Malayali and is one of the secular festivals in India. The wonderfully decorated elephants, Kathakali and Pulikali dancers' performances, gigantic snake boats lined up at the shores for competitions, and the floral decorations everywhere are a wonderful feast to the eyes. The Onam celebrations are spread over 4 days. Although it is celebrated to mark the harvesting season these days, the reason dates back to the Hindu mythological story of King Mahabali. Although an Asura, King Mahabali ruled his land with great welfare, pomp, and without discrimination. He was known for his generosity, the prosperity of the land under his rule, and was said to be wise and judicious. It is said that Kerala witnessed a golden era under his rule. Soon, King Mahabali began to attract the attention of Devas. The Devas were worried that the kingdom of Mahabali was becoming better than heaven. Soon, they prayed to Lord Vishnu and asked him to get rid of Mahabali. Lord Vishnu granted the wish of the Devtas and soon reached earth in the form of a young, poor Brahmin boy. Lord Vishnu took the form of Vamana. Vamana then went to Mahabali and told him that he was a very poor Brahmin who needed 3 feet of land. He quickly accepted the request. With the first 2 steps, Vamana grew up to the size that measured the earth and heaven. In the 3rd step, he couldn't find any place. Mahabali realized he was Lord Vishnu and so generously offered his head for the 3rd step. Impressed with his generosity, Lord Vishnu made him the king of Patala, and Mahabali gladly accepted, saying that he would return once every year to his land of Kerala. This is how the tradition began. Here are some more facts about the festival. 1. In Kerala, Onam is a secular festival that is celebrated by people of all religions and castes. 2. An elaborate lunch called sadhya is served and filled with 26 traditional varieties of food. The Onam sadhya is an all-vegetarian affair. 3. Traditional wear is displayed on Onam, with the men wearing cream color mundu and jubba, while the women wear a traditional Kerala sari, white in color with a golden border. 4. To welcome King Mahabali, every house is adorned with creative pookalam designs or carpet of flowers in designs. 5. Gifting is a compulsion in the family. People exchange gifts in the form of silver, gold, clothes, home appliances, and many more. The youngest of the family usually gets the gifts from elders.
We just have one more video, please.
Happy Onam.
Happy Onam. We just have a snake boat race. You can just see the boat race. Please watch that. This is something which is spectacular event. What audio is not there? Thank you, Sanjay, and thank you, Pranesh. And I wish everyone a happy Onam.
Happy
Okay, you can
Onam.
stop sharing.
Thank you. Thank you.
Uh, you can just
Thank
stop
you,
sharing.
and happy Onam to
Happy
you
Onam.
all.
Yeah, so we started this program. Hope you all had a nice feast. When you come here physically, we'll do that. So on behalf of the Ministry of Youth Affairs and Sports, we have Dr. Dilsad Ahmed, who's the speaker, the distinguished speaker for today. Dr. Dilsad Ahmed attended two of the India's top-ranked universities where he earned a total of 4 degrees, including his PhD. He began his career as a physical education teacher and sports coordinator. His efforts were twice recognized with teaching awards with an interest in advancing physical education and sports worldwide. And as a committed lifelong learner, he pursued international opportunities in Canada, Macau, South Korea, and the United States of America, including postdoctoral research experiences. He is currently pursuing an MS degrees and working as a teaching assistant at the Oregon State University. The breadth and depth of his academic preparation and career experiences allow him to seamlessly collaborate with other uh, 40 universities spanning Asia, Latin America, Europe, North America, as well as independent lead major research initiatives aimed at advancing physical activity initiatives from both educational and public health perspectives, as well as making conceptual, methodological, and practical advancement in sport and exercise psychology. To date, he has co-authored 29 journal articles indexed with Scopus, also presented his work at 45 conferences in Canada, Hungary, India, Malaysia, South Korea, received funding from multiple institutions and organizations, and appeared on Indian television shows, Protidan Times, News Lives, Assam Talks, where he has discussed the current status of physical education in India and chronicled his own life experiences. His efforts have been recognized with multiple awards and honors. He also believes in practicing what he preaches. Towards that end, he participated in athletics, track and field, badminton, cricket, and table tennis at the collegiate level in India. Beyond this academic work, he has participated in various youth festivals as a musician and solo vocalist. His album, Khubsurat Si, is available through YouTube. Search Dr. Dilsad Ahmed. Find it. Most importantly, he's a devoted husband of Shaheen, father of Fahad, and a family man. So on behalf of the Ministry of Youth Affairs and Sports, Government of India, Hello India, a warm welcome to our most distinguished speaker, Dr. Dilsad Ahmed, to this particular session.
Hello. Hello, everyone. Thank you so much. Namaste.
Just
Yeah.
a brief, I also would like to, we are very honored to have with us a very eminent personality as a panelist. Brigadier P.S. Gurung, YSM, was born on 15 December 1945 at Sagar, that is Madhya Pradesh. After his primary education in Dehradun, he completed a senior Cambridge exam from the military school Belgaum in 1961, commissioned in army in January 1966, fought the Indo-Pak battle at Chamjorian in 1971 as a battalion commander, repulsed the Pakistan attack in Bila Fondla Pass, the highest battlefield in the world. Seychelles Glacier in 1987 was awarded Yuddha Seva Medal. Retired in December 2001 and dedicated self for social service in Dehradun. Besides leading many social organizations, also appointed as Vice Chairman OBC Commission, Uttarakhand Government of India. Was married to Mrs. Pushpalata Gurung in 1972, was blessed with son Gautam in 1973 at Dehradun and a daughter in 1976 at Jamnagar. Son, after completing his master's in international business, too joined army in 1976 in his father's battalion. He was martyred on 5th of August 1988 in Jammu and Kashmir on line of control while rescuing a Jawan, and he was awarded the Sena Medal. Brigadier Gurung YSM utilized complete pension money and other financial assistance amount received by him on social welfare of the poor and needy people. A trust, Shahid LT Gautam Gurung Trust, was registered in 2010. Brigadier Gurung, being a good sportsman himself, a Gorkha footballer, boxer, a good swimmer, dedicated himself to encourage budding sportsmen by way of training and financial assistance. Uttarakhand, a hilly region which is almost 67% hills, has large number of hilly tribe persons who are tough and hardy but not very well off financially. Given a chance, they would perform extremely well in any discipline of sports. Hence, Shahid LT Gautam Boxing Club was started in 2006, wherein children of young age group were enrolled with negligible fees for training. In short span of time, 2 international boxers, a few national level boxers and a horde of state level boxers have given a lot of encouragement to the others to work hard and reach high. A large numbers have joined in the army, paramilitary and police forces in the sports quota to make a successful career. As to date, more than 75 boys and girls have joined. By way of encouraging fast diminishing culture and heritage knowledge of the younger generation, Culture Club was also established. The club, Gurun's Sanskritik Kala Kendra, only trained children in folk music and dances of Gorkha community. Indeed, on behalf of the Ministry of Youth Affairs and Sports, Government of India, Khelo India, a warm welcome to our most distinguished panelist, Brigadier Piers Gurung. We are honored to have you, sir, because you are a great, I would say, the real father who has paid such a great tribute for the nation, because your family is with us. So on behalf of all those present here, a warm welcome to you.
Thank you very much.
I also would like to welcome Professor Rocha, who's the president of IAPESGW and treasurer of ICSSPE. I think a number of awards, very difficult to read it. Warm welcome to you, Dr. Rocha. Warm welcome to Walter Ho, who's again a genius. We heard your talks. It was wonderful. A warm welcome to you. A warm welcome to Pooja, Dr. Sanjay Prajapati, and also to all my dear PE teachers. We have, for the information of the panelists and the experts, we have almost 3,500 PE teachers who have registered, and majority from Jammu and Kashmir. A warm welcome to our a brand of PE teachers. So now over to you, Dr. Dilsad Ahmed, for your session.
Sure. Hello, everyone again. So it was a really wonderful introduction by Dr. Nair. And I'm really thankful to Dr. Nair for giving this beautiful opportunity to connect with you all, people from all around the world. And I believe it is a very important platform, the way you people are conducting everything. And especially...
Hello, Dilsad, sir.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Very low. You're audible, please. Can you make it slightly louder?
Okay.
Yeah, now it's better.
It's okay now?
Yeah, now it's better.
Okay, okay. Let's make it like this. People will see me little bit like this. Okay, no problem.
We'll just keep it here, then it will, yeah.
Okay, okay, okay. No problem, yeah.
Fine.
So I'm thankful to everyone, especially to Dr. Nair, for giving this special opportunity to be connected with all eminent people. Especially, I'm also thankful to Walter and Rosa, Brigadier Grooms to be here, and I'm really feeling happy that I'm just going to speak before all the eminent personality, because they represent the whole world. Walter and Rosa here, I can see. Thank you so much, everyone. But in the meantime, I would also like to share with my wife and son recently came here just 2-3 days before. They are sleeping. Maybe suddenly my child will start crying and get ready for that. It is the middle of the night. Anyway, I'm just going to my presentation now.
You could share the screen.
Yes. Okay. Can you see it? Can you see it? Doctor, okay, thank you so much. So basically, the topic with which I have come before you all, it's talk a lot about in own. It's about women voices for unwanted sexual harassment and physical assault in sports, related and psychological repercussion. So this is this is actually not purely aligned to the area of my interest, what I'm doing right now, but you can say this is something was very important for India, and we decided that we should pursue this scholarship in India, and we actually did that because most of the time, if you'll see that we have a lot of sexual abuse, harassment cases going on in India, and different workplace and station, but these things is not giving equal attention, equal regard what it should be get in the field of sports. Actually, we did not see that. So that's why keeping in mind this all thing, like this type of things is available everywhere. It's happening every place. Why? But it's not happening much in a sports field. And I, as you mentioned, Dr. Nair, in my introduction, like I worked in school for 3 years as a teacher, as a coordinator, and then coming and I was a visiting fellow, and as a researcher now. Again, I'm studying abroad. So many things from all my perspectives. Actually, I came to this conclusion that it is a very important topic, and we should really take it ahead. Yeah, you already mentioned many international delegates are actually connected here. I would be, it's not changing. Okay, so many international people must be wondering that where from I belong. So it is not for all our Indian because they knows it where from I belong. So I belong from the state of Assam basically, and here is Assam, and I'm from here, this small town from Assam called Nagaon, and I'm right now working and studying at the Oregon State University, USA. And I'm happy to share with you again that the topic on which today I'm going to talk, it is basically clubbed with two things. The first one is it will give you a general talk, what actually sexual abuse and its repercussion, and also our original research, which we did before, and we are going to do it to the next, because previously we already published our paper. So about that, I'll definitely talk. And the same topic, which I'm going to share with you, we already published this paper in ACSM conference in USA, which was actually could not go well just because of the COVID, but the paper is accepted and it is already published with the American College of Sports Medicine recently. And here is the list of people who are associated with this. Dr. Bradley Cardinal, Saladin, and Shaheen. So let's go to the topic directly and let's discuss some of the things. When you talk about the sexual abuse, it's basically unwanted sexual attention, which we really don't deserve, and what we deserve, what we get in a different way from the perpetrators, from the coach. It could be from the coach, and that result in the groomed and forced collaboration in sexual and genital act. This is what from here. Sexual harassment research was first undertaken in the workplace and educational setting. Research on sexual harassment in sports is scarce, but has grown steadily since the mid 1980s. And I say it is steadily growing from 1980, but unfortunately, it was not happening. Not much of the researches have been conducted in India, basically in the sports field. So it was a big concern. Why not? And so even when you go through the statistics and other things, the report, it's give us a lot of cases actually being happening in India and also other places. So this is a kind of thing, a feeling you will get here. That's how it is rampantly going. So how common is sexual abuse? Now you can see here that, let me take it a little. In 1 in 6 women and 1 in 33 men report sexual experiencing. Kind of, it could be complete rape or something else, something which they don't want in their lifetime. So in India, a child is sexually assaulted every 15 minutes. It's a report from the Telegraph. Can you imagine that every 15 minutes a child is sexually assaulted in different means? Women in college are most likely to be victim. So this is one more thing. They are most likely, basically the college student. Every 73 seconds, an American is sexually assaulted. So we get an idea that this is not just restricted to one place, but it is going on rampantly worldwide. Everywhere, our girls, our women, they are actually expressing this type of incidences. So background and significance. As I said, this topic actually clubbed two things. One is the general, what is the effect of mental repercussion once the sexual harassments happen, conducted, what kind of sexual repercussion, mental harassment happen. And then also I'm going to talk on the original idea, original research things what's happening. So according to the Bureau of Justice, 77% of sexual assault cases were unreported in the United States. Ladies and gentlemen, can you imagine if 77% sexual assault cases are unreported, then how it will be going on in India? In United States, it is like that. So 1/3 of the sexual abuse victim report being reluctant to share. They don't feel like to go to the police station, go to a authority and to share their feelings, their problem with someone. They feel reluctant. It could have a lot of reason why they feel reluctant. So background and significance of the study. So let me give a little description. So it is, you can see here, I put it here, the Me Too movements. Will go in detail of what is the Me Too movement. So the Me Too movement has brought sexual harassment, abuse, and sexual experience by female to the forefront. So this is one of the organizations and worldwide is going on who actually taking these big initiatives to bring all this thing to the forefront of the society, and how sexual abuse stuff happening in different workplace within the athletic rank in our field. Females also reported such experiences as other places as well. So this maltreatment actually causing a lot. While the maltreatment has been reported for decades in recent years, voices are amplified in US as well. For various political reasons, maltreatment of female from many countries actually are unreported, are not well reported actually, because it could have a lot of reason. It could have social reason that they are not reporting to someone. It could be political reasons, so many things. So we will get this all detail in the following slides. Why this study is important? So this is the main question. So, we'll have to get the two rationale here because we have international delegates here. So intentionally, I put this slide here so that we will get an idea, like the geopolitical rationale, the reason why I've conducted this study. So before independence, this study actually, our country is look like this. We had Pakistan, Bangladesh, and all together. And after independence, Pakistan and Bangladesh were moved away from us for some reason, and we are like this. So we came up as a secular democratic country, and Pakistan came up as Islamic country. So this again, this topic is also going to compare the data from India and Pakistan and the general of sexual abuse, harassment on mental health stuff. So I have, as I already mentioned, it has two things. So now you came to know that my study is going to compare the data from India and Pakistan sexual abuse thing and the general sexual abuse effect on human body. So now let's talk about India. In India, some 34,651 cases of rape were reported across India in 2015. Victim ranged from female children of 6 years to 60 years. So this is one important thing to notice here. From 6 years to 60 years, women, they are actually experiencing, but this is mostly going higher between the ages of 18 to 30 years. Largest number of rape attacks had, was 17,000 in 2015, which is here. And these are some of the literature review. Actually, I did not write anything, but I have gone through because not a lot of research has been conducted in India in the area of sexual abuse. I believe probably it started from me last year. I'll give you more detail how it was started and it was happened. So these are some of the things I just copy and paste from the, these are news report. I just copy and paste here to share with you that out of 45 complaints, 29 received the past 10 years were coaches female athletes coaches sexual abuse from their male coaches in the one of the center of the sports authority of India. So many women athletes and players fear to report such cases out of fear of spoiling their career. So athletes do not go and report about it, just this feeling frightened that probably if I'll go, it will destroy my whole career. And even if they feel okay, let's go and do that, but they get external pressure. They say maybe from the authorities, from coaches, from many places, that's don't go, it will spoil your career because you are going to report against your coaches. So as I already mentioned, it could be political and it could be social. So you can say here that authoritative power is quite more here. So in this case, again, this is one more case I found from internet, like 15-year-old female athlete commits suicide following harassment by senior. This is again one of the sports centers where this incident was conducted. So again, I got from this source. So I really feel happy recently, like our sports minister, Karan Rijiju, he said that there is a zero tolerance for sexual harassment on Sai campus and inquiries are underway, will be so he is giving a very promising note here, but we actually need this to be happen across the whole nation so that our girls who really feeling reluctant because of a lot of social pressure and other things and coming forward, so they should get a very good space to get participation and to show their excellence at the international level. That is very important, and for that we need a very conducive environment. And so this is one more, like 90% of the abuser are known to the victim. See, this is a very strange thing, ladies and gentlemen. Like 90% are of the abuser known to the victim. They knows that this is from an NGO is preparing families to fight child sexual abuse. So sometimes we know that perpetrators, but still we cannot take any harsh step against them. So recently we got a court decision after 7-8 years after the sexual, assault, that bad things happened with the victim. So it's take long time to get some decision. So Me Too movement in India, in the similarly the way the Me Too movement's working all across countries, in India also, sports bodies must alter power balance between victims and perpetrators. That is, this is very important, which is also one of the motto of the Me Too movement. Like why uh, after victims suffered, they cannot go and speak in front of the people, in front of the society that I have really experienced something bad. Please help me. I need your help. I need your attention. So why still it is not happening when they are victimized, when they are assaulted, but still when they know, as I just mentioned, 90% of the people knows their perpetrators, but still they cannot open up just because of political thing, just because of social stuff, so many things. So this is one important thing I'm happy to share with you, that this is the first time I believe, to the best of my knowledge, in India we have I and my team, and I'm happy that Dr. Walter Ho was also involved here, including Dr. Nikak from South Africa, Dr. Ho from Macau. I was in Macau that time. Tony Morris, Thomas Baker, Dr. Han from Amravati University, and Abe Tetsu. And we all collaboratively worked on it and successfully published our first report from India at the International Journal of Comparative and Applied Criminal Justice. So this is now again, because as I said, this is a comparative study between India and Pakistan, how the sexual abuse thing in both the places, as I give you the socio-political rationale that after independence and before independence, we were secular democratic country and they're Islamic country, they have their own things, we have their own things. So it was a very inquisitive in my mind, like how it will be. I just wanted to see like how the sexual abuse things happening India and in Pakistan actually, because we already, as I show here just while, that's we already conducted this study in India. So I was very interested to see, to compare these two places now, or two neighboring states. So now you can see here again some shocking news. Pakistan ranked the 6th most dangerous country in the world with the cases of sexual crime. So it is a very big thing. Again, you can see here the next thing. Ladies and gentlemen, I did not really get a lot of research studies from sexual abuse from Pakistan, which especially focus in the area of athletic realm. But so this is again what I got on the internet. I got it directly from here. So that's why I just copy and paste here so that you can see the original thing, what I really have gone through. So again, 93% of the Pakistani women experience sexual abuse. So this is again another things we should ponder. Again, this report, Dawn report, says that over 10 children abused every day in Pakistan in 2018. Sahil is an NGO who reported this in the Dawn. So similarly, we can say that in India and Pakistan, the sexual abuse things are quite prominent. It's prevalent everywhere. So after sexual harassment, sexual assault happens. So these are some of the things, as one of the scope of my paper is a mental so sexual abuse and its post repercussion. You can see this, some of the repercussion is effect, like it's once a victim gone through this all thing, it's they feel they experience eating disorder. They don't feel like to eat for a long time. They gone through a huge depression, and sometimes they suicide because they need to face the whole society. Society is not accepting in most of the places in India. So this happened. Nowadays, things are slowly, gradually changing, but it's still a huge portion of our society is still seeing sexual abuse things not in that way. They feel like girls always has their own problems, so they are actually indulged in those type of activities, so many things. So it is a big crowd. We cannot change the whole world, but we know the fact. So sometimes they feel sleep disorder, they cannot sleep, attention deficient, they cannot really attention to anything, their self-esteem lowered, interference with their private life, they cannot actually, they feel a lot of struggle with their own private life, emotional health. So these are just a small list I have pasted here. It is actually more from that. Here I've provided you a link. Probably we can go through the link. It is from the British Journal of Sports Medicine. You probably get a lot of information from there, how it's affect, because we'll have to be keep in mind this all thing, because this research is not much conducted in India and other developing countries. Even it's need more attention in developed countries as well. As I said that almost 60% of the cases is not reported in, 77% of cases are not reported in USA. So if in USA 77%, can you imagine how much percentage it will be in India and Pakistan and other places, Bangladesh and our neighboring countries, could be Myanmar, everywhere. So it's need special attention. So the main aim of this research is the female athletes from India and Pakistan were asked to report their experience of sexual abuse in sports from male coaches. So we are actually we have collected data from India and Pakistan, and then we are asking our female athletes how they actually experience, whether they have some bad experience, some kind of experience from their male coaches when they were trained with them. So actually it was hypothesized that there will be significant difference between India and Pakistan in terms of sexual abuse in sports. So this hypothesis I have made based on the geopolitical rationale, and also based on based on the cultural setting. As I said, Islamic, democratic, secular, and India and Pakistan, of course, now we're separated, and it is two different countries. So it was very important to see that. So at the same time, the second hypothesis was like type of sports where sexual abuse is experienced, individual sports and a team sports. In both the places I have checked here, like how they're experiencing about sexual abuse. So here is a description of the sample. You can see that almost 395 athletes were recruited for this study. It was totally voluntary, and they represented almost more than 26 sports. So we are actually need a lot of information from different sports, how they are experiencing these issues, and their ages were ranges between 20 years with athletics experience 2.73, 1.49. And here you can see almost 180 participants were from India and 200 from Pakistan. Individual sports 277. It's a lot to actually cover most of the information from this sample, because it's prominently good sample size, especially in a case like that when you are in a challenge. It is a big challenge. It was a big challenge for us in India to collect the data, and also there is a big challenge for Pakistan professor who was associated in this research to collect the data from their side, because these are some of the things first time conducted in both the places actually. So the measure which I have used here, it is a sports touch and behavior versus unwanted intimacy from coach questionnaire by Vanden Aule. So I'm happy that one of the researcher who actually constructed this questionnaire, he also worked with us in the previous paper when it was published in the international journal. So it has basically 41 items, and all are based on the 6-point Likert scale, and it has 3 sub scales, and you can see the pretty good Cronbach alpha here for all the items, 14 items, almost 0.91, 0.72, and 0.77. Pretty stable, consistent, and we can say that the responses which we got were pretty good. So basically, I have used here 2x2 Menkova analysis here, and I intentionally we kept age as a covariate because we are basically seeing two things. One is the country difference, India and Pakistan, and another is like team sports and individual sport different. That's why I found that it will be the most prominent to use here. And later, now we are writing the whole, the main paper. I have used a discriminant function analysis to see it more in detail actually. So here you can see that in comparison to other variable like age, sports type, and sports team and country difference between India and Pakistan, it seems like more prominent. You can see here the F ratio is 56. It's a big difference between the two groups, India and Pakistan, and with partial eta 0.30, the big effect size. So we can see that that other things are not showing any significant difference between the two states, like sports type or anything, but as a country, India and Pakistan showing some significant difference actually. So this is another descriptive report here. You can see these are the 3 sub-factors: unwanted sexual abuse, physical and verbal behavior with sexual undertone, and sexist and discriminatory behavior. You can see here that between these two countries, Pakistan is reported pretty higher in all the 3 sub-factors. Here is the Pakistan and India. India and Pakistan 1. Again, India and Pakistan is 0.9. India is 0.1. Pakistan is 0.13. 1.30. Pakistan is 1.31. So in all the 3 sub-factors, you can see that Pakistan is consistently reported a little higher than India. So here are more the items in more detail. So these all highlighted yellow items you can see in percentages between India and Pakistan. So of course, I really don't want to take a lot of time from you. You people are maybe will be busy shortly in your work. So I'm just reported here the main important items which are much needs to be focused, like coaches staring at you during showering, coaches flirting with you with other teammates, coaches compliment or makes comment about your figure, coaches gives more attention. So these are some of the items where you can see that there is a difference between India and Pakistan, like 0.651, 334.2, 0.6, 0.51. And so, and here, this is one item, the coach kisses you on the mouth, like you can see here 0.00 in India, and on the side of Pakistan, it is little more. So these are some of the items where we found that it is more prevalent and they often experience it. And here, these are the two items mostly. You can see here in this big circle that I wrote here, two items reported as always occurring by female athletes. So these are the two items are mostly actually occurring. One is coach give you more attention to you than to your other teammates. So coaches try to give you more, and coaches sometimes give you sexual remark. It could be any remarks, we don't know. So in case of Pakistan, it is little quite more. Here in case of India, it is 0.6, and in case of Pakistan, it's 7.0, and 0.00 again in on the other side, it is 8.4. So these are some of the two items basically where they always percept. So I'm very close to my presentation now. I would be happy to discuss with you the main discussion part of the slides. Like female athletes basically in Pakistan perceived more inappropriate sexual abuse concern from their male coaches in comparison to India. So this is one main important thing has been focused. And secondly, we found that any level is completely inappropriate and has long-standing implications. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I just shared with you that how once a victim experienced this type of, uh, is it fine? So at any level, whenever people are percepting, experiencing this type of issues, they really have gone through a lot of long-lasting implication because of that. And it can completely differentiate physical activity. It actually demotivate you from participations going to for further physical activity, could be sports, and efforts are needed to put a stop to this. And here you can see that some of the previous findings, which are very relevant and very talking the same thing, the finding which we got. So fasting, she's from Norway, and she made a lot of studies in this area, and she's one of the renowned scientists in this area. And she, in her study in 2011, conducted on 616 female student athletes between among three countries, European countries, Greece, Norway, and Czech Republic. They found that 34% of students had experienced sexually harassment from the male coaches. Again, in another study conducted by Carrie Fasting and our colleague, it says that sexual abuse more than other work setting in educational setting than in sports. It is more in educational setting. So it was very productive, our work, which was conducted in the educational setting. Basically, we have recruited college athletes, university athletes, and then we try to experience what they are experiencing in this issue. Again, in another study, it's saying the same thing, like so it was conducted in 399 female sports and PE students. Now, this finding saying that prevalence of authoritarian behavior and sexual harassment were significantly higher from male coaches. So this is also one of the main things, as I mentioned in one of the review literature, that from India also this is actually experienced. Like when they were about to report to the police station or some formal place, they were restricted. They were like reprimanded, don't go. It will spoil your whole career. So authoritarian behavior is quite more in this case. And in the last one, you can see that conducted on 222 female athletes, and where it was found that 7.3% of the athletes experience explicit sexual advances, and 45.6% experience unwanted sexual intimacy. So it is quite high. So Vanden Aule and Van Niekerk actually, Van Niekerk is one of the authors from this study who actually researched with us in the previous study. So we are very glad to include this finding here because he is very prominent in this field as well. So these are some of the findings, ladies and gentlemen, from this study between the India and Pakistan. And it is not just Pakistan that where this time we found that the cases of sexual abuse is a little bit higher than India, but equally we have the same kind of thing in India everywhere in almost across institutions. So we need a lot of research in this area if we really want to bring our women talent to the sports world, because if the environment is not conducive, as you all people know that physical education is still not a compulsory subject in India, and we're striving to make it as a compulsory subject. Of course, recently our Indian government has included a PE and sports in the curriculum, but it's need to be fully implemented. I hope it will be included soon. But at the same time, we also need to make sure that this type of things are not happening in the educational setting. Otherwise, it will really demotivate our athletes, our girls to come forward and to give their best in the sports world. So this is extremely important, I believe. So uh, as like other study, we had some limitations as well to this study, because non-random sample, volunteer sample limit the study's generability, and cross-cultural study does not simply casualty, because when we conducting some cross-cultural study, it doesn't mean that what we got could be in that way or something like that, because it could have a lot of other repercussions side by side, underpinning issues which we need to explore more, we need to find out more to get more to the point. And female athletes may not be comfortable reporting. So yeah, so this is like is very important point to share with you here. Maybe when we are giving them the questionnaire to share to get their more information on the items, probably they were not comfortable, because the items which are written there, these are very sensitive, and maybe they maybe feel not comfortable to go against their male coaches. Maybe they have kind of frightened, oh, what will happen if we report about my coach or something. So the data were self-reported. As such, they are open to the item interpretation and recall. So in conclusion, so I'm very concluding part of the study, female athletes from India and Pakistan reported experiences a wide range of sexual abuse, as I just mentioned. Probably this time in the side of Pakistan, it was a little more, but it doesn't mean that in India it was less. So a wide range of sexual harassment also experienced the side of India as well. So the issues range from being told sexiest joke to having front side of the body massage to sexual encounter. It has a range of items from both the side, from both the countries. And female athletes in Pakistan experience such incidences more so than so from India. So this is one of the main finding of the study. Pakistan government needs to take also a stern initiative in this case. So that's all about my today's presentation, and thank you to all for listening this. And you are very open for any question, but at the same time, I believe that just before go to the ending and go back to the Dr. Nair again, like this is not just a a kind of research which I did, my team did. Dr. Walter was here. He was very kind to this study, and we are also thinking to expand this study all over the world, because this is very important. And also this study getting more emphasis all across because of the Me Too movement. So we need to see this all thing regularly, and this is a kind of thing, as long as the human existence will be there, this type of things will always needed. We need to check, we need stern rules, regulations, so that perpetrators, the peoples who are thinking in for this type of things, they need a kind of restrictions, limitations. They need to ponder thousand of times before they conduct this type of thing. So this is not just a research, but it is more social awareness. It needs more social initiative, so that we will come forward and will hand to hand, we will ease these issues from our society, and we will give our girls, our women a better place to live, a better environment, a conducive environment to show their most of their talents and to show their talents to the whole world. And with this note, I'm thanking to the organizing committee again, and thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen, everyone. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. Dilsad.
Yes, ma'am.
I think you can stop sharing. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was indeed a wonderful session. Over to you, Dr. Sanjay, for questions, please.
First of all, thank you, Dilsad sir.
Thank you.
The session was very wonderful.
Thank you.
And congratulations to you also.
Thank you so
because
much.
You belongs to Nagaon. And
you.
Hima Das, I think she's from there only.
Yes, you are right.
So that
That's
too,
true.
it's great.
And she's from Nagaon, so I'm feeling very proud of her actually.
Yeah.
She's amazing.
So congratulations to you. The question, one question I've been asked by Akhil Mani.
Okay.
What is the best instrument to measure the perception, coping, and the consequences of sexual harassment among female players during the national or international camp?
Also, see the questionnaire which we actually use here. So this is actually very relevant, but as we know, every country has their own thing, their own social environment and political environment. So I would say just go through, because now I know I'm from India, probably some of the items which I have used there could not be very aligned with our Indian situation. So it will be very good if we'll validate the questionnaire and we can conduct some focus group interviews, semi-structured interview to more of the things, and we make our own questionnaire and we'll go ahead in regard to our own country. So of course you can take some of this validated questionnaire for your use, but if you still can do your own thing, it will be far better, so that you can, as I just said, of course, Dr. Walter and me, we took a very strong initiative to publish this paper. So that time we did not have any questionnaires. So this was something we had to hire. Maybe in the future, we will conduct our own study, lot of series of studies, and we'll have our own questionnaire from India, from other country, and we will do our own work, so that we will exactly know exactly happening in the state, in the country, So yes, I mean, I hope I've done his answer.
Okay. Dr. Sanjay, could I just make an announcement, please? For the information of the participants and panelists and speakers, the sessions will continue, and it's only getting over on September 4th. September 4th, till September 4th, we have the sessions. If you have any problems, please do look into the SAI website. And we do have a session tomorrow onwards, because there are a lot of queries saying that the session is ending today. So please look for the session is continuing till September 4th. Thank you, Dr.
Yeah. Thank you, ma'am.
Any more questions? I would love to give more answers.
Hello. Yeah. Another question is there. Is there any law regarding the punishment of coaches, those who involve in such type of activity?
That's very relevant question. So just I said that I'm thankful to our honorable sportsman, Mr. Karan Rijiju, that recently what he has actually noted, that's zero tolerance. Totally zero tolerance for the SAI if this type of things will happen in any of the institution. But this is what I'm intending. I want that physical education and sports, they have recently included in the sports policy. So can we make some policy like this so that it will be implemented in the country? Could be we have our own law, but we need something very relevant to the sports. So far, we really don't have so far any very specific laws related to sexual abuse, I believe. Yeah, at a school level, educational setting, or any places. But for example, you and I also from India, and we studied physical education from the Indian institution. Did you ever heard anything like kind of laws like that? No, am I right? We really did not get anything, except we just go to the court and the court will go through, and the section, a normal sexual assault, normal in the sense, not in the, athletic realm. And it took 6 years to get the Nirbhaya case, 6 years, 7 years to get the court verdict. So we need something in that way. Then only our girls will come forward. So I believe I'm requesting to our, sports minister, please make some stern law immediately for sports as well. The moment you will embed physical education in sports as a compulsory subject all across the country, at the same time it's needed.
I would like to ask one more question. Is there any website where the athlete can share their message, share their text, if they are facing any problem related to this one?
Awesome question. So again, so I already mentioned that Me Too movement is one of the organization right now. They are actually bringing these all issues to the forefront of the society. And in US, they are very active. Not just in US, they are spreading all over the world. In India also, Me Too movement is going on right now. So this is one of the organization is there, but we also need our regional, national bodies like that who actually will deal with sexual abuse in sports. So probably we need to make more organization. We don't have in India and Pakistan, for basically what I came to know from the Pakistan partner, who is actually one of the co-author in this research. Yeah.
Thank you so much, sir. Over to Dr. Rocha.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. Sanjay. The topic was very interesting, and actually, I'm the chairperson of the Sexual Harassment Committee here.
Wow,
when it comes
that's
to
cool.
this, as you said, we are already taking, Sai is doing a wonderful job. A lot of things are there. But many a time what comes in the print media need not be as it is. That's another thing which we found was.
That's true.
I think there are a lot of things which are there. So one is in terms, many a time the athletes and the coaches, the athletes have a fear of speaking or whatever. And I think even the coaches, the do's and don'ts are very much required to be specified, which I think is not very clear. Could be a possible reason, because in coaching, you have a lot of body contacts. The way you happen to coach can differ. So many a time that could be the possible reason. But we've seen things, but I think, as you said, even our Director General but things were exaggerated in the media, which came in actually. And I don't agree to that, because even Rosa asked me, do I have a reference? I too try to get in something, but I found many a time, the person who happens to speak out many a time, their career gets...
You're right.
That's one thing. So many a time, it's a problem which comes in. So it's a very difficult situation when it comes to sporting arena, because that's what we happen to see. Anyway, it was a wonderful study which you have done. And
I just want to add something. Like I totally agree with you, because this is a very different kind of situation. I know, like we have coaching, when coach is involved there, it is a lot of things. And it's very hard to get the exact idea why it's happened, what is the reason, So as I said, it needed a lot of series of studies in India as well, like focus group, qualitative study, sit with the athletes, get a lot of information. And it is a very intricate, complex topic. So the idea which we'll get, probably it will not tell us everything. It's had a lot of underpinning issues needs to be explored and needs to be go in a lot of deeper way. I'm totally agree with you, Dr. Usha, because yes, this is important, what you have said.
The best example could be for gymnastics. Talk the US Dr. Nisar, and now you find the other thing. You took how many years for the girl to bring in? You can just imagine, leave aside of India. I think when the courage that they happen to take in to speak out, I said to speak out. So I think, but it's a very interesting topic. But the problem at time comes in, many a time people who take initiative at times, they are the first person who will have to receive the entire thing. So we don't know how the society in turn tends to. That's a very sensitive issue.
Very sensitive
and
issue.
the problem coming in is many a time these athletes do not have a chance anywhere. We have seen this. We have observed over the years. So when they ask, we never even disclose what it is. So that's another thing which has happened is, if somebody wants to excel, we have to find a way and mean by which I think having an education in the right direction can actually help us a lot, is what I'm just talking from the Indian perspective. We have a panelist going to speak much more. So over to you, Doctor. Let me first ask Brigadier Gurun, sir, for your remarks, and then, sir, please.
In fact, it was a lovely presentation.
Thank you so much.
But it happens that, this varies under different conditions. Like in our Indian culture, when I'm talking about the whole thing in perspective, the Indian culture as such, we are very, sober, and our women were always in the background. It's only now that these females are coming out openly for all these, sporting activities. So with the result, now they have in their mind a little bit of doubt. In fact, it is more the parents than the children or the athletes, because there is a lot of gap, or I should say the generation gap is there. The older people are very, of the, their concept is very, very old, and they avoid, or rather they discourage children to go out openly, because even going out itself is, for a girl, in their perspective, is wrong. So that is also hindering a lot of our, girl sports person to come forward. So especially this is so in the urban areas, maybe not so much, but in rural areas and in the hills and all, where they stick to a very strict disciplinary levels, it becomes very difficult, though they have a lot of talent. And they can do extremely well. But because of these facts, they are unable to come up. So that's what I felt.
Yeah, you're right. Exactly, sir. Because one way our girls are not getting enough opportunities. Parents says, hey, don't go in the evening, don't go out of the station, don't go for the tournament, just play locally, so many things. And then parents are sending their girls to sports. And still, if they will feel this type of experience, probably parents will be more demotivated to send their girls. Yeah. So an environment, a conducive environment is very important, whatever it is, but it will definitely motivate parents and girls to go forward, and they will say, okay, we are ready to take the challenge, go and whatever you want to do. So we need that type of environment. Yeah, I'm not just talking about India, everywhere around the world, because girl, life is life. Yeah, it is important to us. So how we can give a good environment to our girls, that is important. We should respect it. Yeah.
Professor Rosa, for your comments, please.
Thank you very much, Dr. Dilsad, for this presentation and for bringing this sensitive topic, okay? This is a topic that normally we have to address with data, with information, because sometimes we have in the audience people who don't believe that this is indeed happening, or that as the topic is sensitive, people don't want to touch or refer to it. So thank you very much, because sometimes, and in some cultures, it requires courage to know and to tell what's going on. This is the first thing. On the other hand, yes, on the other hand, it is a worldwide problem, okay? It's a worldwide problem, and that's why since many years, and you mentioned one of the person who has been reporting and working on the topic, who's Carrie Fasting, they have been bringing projects and data related with sexual harassment in sport. So it indeed happens. And as we have said before, sport is a microcosm of the world. So there is sexual harassment in the world, in society, I mean, towards women. And of course, it permeates sport as well. So this is a reality. And there are studies in many places that are showing the numbers, okay? And women are starting to speak about it. Researchers, male researchers like you, for example, are also addressing the issue. And this is important that we encourage much more, because from each one of our angles, we can support the cause of avoiding, and definitely it's a shame to have any sort of sexual harassment to women and to men as well, to boys. And in any case, in sport, or as somebody wrote in the chat, in the education setting, it's unbelievable and is not tolerated at all. Zero tolerance to that. And that has to be condemned and indicated. Now, as it was very well explained by Professor Gurun, I mean, there is a component in society, their cultures, how culture operate, and how we can make our women to speak, because it's different in all the places. Nevertheless, research indicates that even the top countries that seems they're doing well with this topic, they have big problems. And that the case that Dr. Usha mentioned about the gymnastic case, I mean, in the USA, it's evident and it's worldwide information. So in all societies, you have this sort of problem. Now, I do believe a component of governance is needed in all organizations, in the sense that how do we tackle, how do we perceive that? How do we provide an atmosphere in which our girls practicing physical education and sport can feel that they can speak without being condemned? And I also speak boys and girls, okay? But in this case, we are referring girls, but they feel they are not harassed in the sense, but that has to be, we cannot copy models. We have to create our model. We can see examples because, for example, in some society, what could be a harassment to one, maybe it's different to other, but a sexual harassment, it's something that it's obvious, I mean, what it implicates and what it means. So it is so important that we, in all the organizations in which we are involved, and some of the requirements that should be established to organizations is to have these safeguards, policies available that is viewed by everybody, and that each child can feel that she or he can just go there and speak about the problem they are facing or what they believe it's a problem. It's a matter of education. Yes, it's true. Right. I mean, education at home, because sometimes we are scared to speak about. The kids might think if I speak about them, my parents are not going to let me go to the sport environment, and I like sports. So it's a difficult, complex situation, but it also indicates that we all, the ones who belongs to the environment of sport, how do we make it more a place in which the kid feels he or she is safe? So more research is needed, and we really need to make the evidence there so the authorities and everybody around believes that this is true, that it's a big problem. It's not just happening in India, it's everywhere, it's worldwide. And of course, now let's enforce more rules, more examples, maybe good practices, but then good practices in quotation mark, because we might believe that what's going on in another country, it's better or is creating a benefit, but it might not really get connected with your own culture, or it's really not making any good benefit on the other side. Because if you speak in a country that supposedly everybody speaks openly about the topic, and now a big scandal came out that was taking place for so many years, and I have to say that it touches my heart because artistic gymnastics, this is my sport. So I had followed the issue. So then you might think about, well, maybe it's worth, maybe you will never know until data shows if it is or it is not. So let's continue researching. And on the other hand, we that are working in organizations, try to ensure that those policies are there and that is contained, but in a way also that the kids that participate in sport, the girls participate in sport, feel that they can speak about that without being stereotyped or condemned. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Unmute, Dr. Lucia.
Walter, please. You also need to unmute.
Yeah, okay, all right. I need to say thank you, Dilsad. This is actually a very, somebody say this is an interesting topic, but for me, this is more than an interesting topic. This is actually a very, very important issue. And especially when we are talking about a fair society and equal world, then this topic should not be a hidden agenda. And but I need to say thank you, Dilsad, because when he brought these issues to me a couple of years before, you know, we always ask the questions, all right? And then when we came out with this paper, we understand that we have limitations. Yes, this paper did show some of the problem of a country, but this paper cannot bring the people into justice. It just tells something about what's happening in the society, and then I tell you what, when we try to explore about other opportunities that we want to work in other country, we find with difficulties, because this is actually very difficult to ask the coach to cooperate. And sometimes we might ask some of the coach to cooperate. The female athletes is also unwilling to participate in this research, and then it eventually turns out to be a very limited number of response only. That make the task very, very difficult. This is actually something that make this kind of research work very, very difficult. But I want to ask Dilsad one question. This is actually the questions that I hope that, well, maybe within this group, we can have something that we can explore. Yes, we talk about the problem of sexual harassment. We talk about the sexual abuse. Can we do something in order to investigate how far we have attempted to solve the problems?
Yeah.
Okay. How can, if we are going to construct this research work, answering the questions of how far we have achieved solving this problem, then what will be your ideas? How we can cooperate? This is my first questions to Dilsad. The second questions that I want to Dilsad about your opinion. Can we do a research work from a global sense?
Okay.
Trying to develop different indicators and see how well or how deep of the troubles in different places. And then in this case, we might discover some of the strategies of the country that this country do a little bit better than the other. Then how did they solve the problem? So these are the two things that I hope that Dilsad can do a little maybe response.
Yeah. Thank you, Walter. It is always nice to hear from you.
Speaking, Walter, I hope I'm audible. It's a very sensitive issue because for the past 20 years, we have an ICC, Internal Complainant Committee, in every organization, which need to take care of the things. And I was like, for us, we have a very good team. And since we interact with the athletes, we are more friendly with them, trying to know what the issues are. But we all, for us also, the athlete's career is equally important, because there are different coaches who are handling. And I don't know whether it's appropriate to speak here, because coaches do their task maybe in terms of coaching, but they feel it's a part of the coaching. And many a time the athletes are not aware what are their rights, what is expected. That is one of the major issues here. So I don't blame either the coaches or the athletes, because the do's and don'ts, only they are worried. Now a time has come, the coaches hesitate. No, we are not going to coach with touching, So there's sort of a lot of where do you put in a barrier, like what is a right touch? And in sports, when it comes into coaching, they say this sort of a thing comes in. A lot of issues that come in. And as you mentioned something of, I don't know whether this 15-year-old, what you mentioned, because if it's in Kerala, we know what the case was, because we have been dealing with all the cases, we know what it was. So many a time, it's not that kind of a thing which is brought in, because since we are going into the depth of the case, and I don't think there's a platform to discuss certain things, because we are supposed to keep certain things confidential. And always, I believe is we trust our athletes and we keep things all confidence, because we would like to boost up athletes so that they come up in their careers. Our priority is only athletes. For us right now, we want that they shouldn't have any hindrance. And I always say, whatever happens, leave it, because you have a world to live where you can really come out and excel. So forget, because it's very difficult to forget a past. There are a lot of things which are there, and many a time so things are, it's a very sensitive things. And over the years, for me, almost 30 years where I'm here, 32 years here, we have rapport, we have discussions. But many a time the athletes say, ma'am, please don't speak it out to the coach. They often tell this.
Yes.
And so they keep telling us. So for us, finally, we have to get the trust of athlete. So we try to, we also see that athletes are well taken care of, but we are very, and I'll tell you, our organization is very good in that aspect. We try taking care of things to such an extent where I don't think, and our athletes feel quite okay. But now we thought, myself and Pooja, we were thinking of something like a speak up. Speak up is not for harassment. I just want our children are a bit submissive. Our children in Kerala, basically, they won't speak up. So with Pooja, I wanted Pooja to help us, so that I said, we'll just take an interview asking children to speak, how did they come into sport? So let them slowly start speaking up, not in this angle, in general. So we thought of starting that. So I was very much impressed. I wanted this. Let us start with the speak up topic and then see what it is. But both the cases, what you said, Walter, we could do, but I think that should be a separate platform to discuss. Since we have participants from across, what happens, at times it is being generalized. When you talk of research, I understand, but many a time the results happen to, when you put in, I understand what it is. So sometimes you don't know, we're not very, even if two countries are there, you have taken in a question, I understand that the data was well done, but we had been finding it very difficult to take up in this particular aspect of trying to ask them. When you ask them also, they will not speak out. That's the first thing.
Correct.
Even because even as a committee, when we ask, even as a committee, I'm not talking about a questionnaire, but always, because there's a fear. What the fear is, because if a particular person is in a sport, for example, I'm into boxing, I know that my boxing career is gone then, that's it. So many a time, even there were coaches. I have seen even coaches hesitant, female coaches. It could be for male, female, both, even for the athletes. I don't say just for female, even for the male athletes, if you happen to speak, to what extent they speak up. So I think it's a very important aspect is where they feel, like Rosa said, right environment, you're safe, and you can at least speak up. That's the biggest hitch. Because parents, about what happened in US, everybody wanted a medal producing factory, right? So every parents trusted and just sent them there. That's how it was for years together. Every parent wants a gold medal in the Olympics. That's what, nothing beyond it. I think I've seen some of the series, you literally weep when you see that videos. I've seen the videos. I wanted our children to see those videos. You literally start crying when you see those videos of the gymnast, of the US gymnast narrating. So I think the topic is very good, what you've taken. I understand, appreciate the effort that you've taken. It's excellent. But I think we can always find out the indicators, find out a good base, what is possible, so that we can help athletes and coaches. Finally, that is our main objective, so that things can come up, and then find out what are the policies. But in every setup, it is mandatory to have ICC. In all the government setup, it is mandatory. And our ministers, as you mentioned, right, he's at zero tolerance. Our DG is zero tolerance. Our director general, everybody is with zero tolerance. So things are going good, and I think our coach is also doing a good job. But many at times the coach also may be good enough, but we don't know. So I don't think it's the right place to speak. But anyway, it was a wonderful session taken up. So now over to we have a very panelist, Professor Brigadier. I'm sorry, Brigadier Gurun. So anyway, it's a professor. So hats off to you, sir, because you are a great, I said, a father who is a family who's been protecting the country, doing so much wonders for the country. And I was also told that your son, he finally he was trying to save his other soldiers, but finally he could not take, he took up everything onto himself. So finally he sacrificed his life for the nation. So it's a great tribute on behalf of the Ministry of Defense, great tribute to our Brigadier Gurun sir and Madam, because you are lucky or to have such a, proud of having such a son. So sir, brief video for everybody here. We show a video Sanjay, please. This is a Professor Gurun, Brigadier Gurun sir. Lieutenant Gautam. This is a picture of this is our brigadier, sir. This picture. Okay, so this is what just we wanted to show in, but just a short video of the sir's cultural Gurans Sanskritik Kala Kendra.
डाली डाली ढुकुरले बासे कुकुरा डाली डाली ढुकुरले बासे कुकुरा देश विदेश घुम्न भए आओ कान्छी सुरा नाच्यो भाले पोखरीको छेउ छेउ नाच्यो भाले पोखरीको छेउ छेउ नाच्यो भाले
Over, Sanjay. Just one more. This one more video, please. This is a traditional dance of Gorkhas, the traditional dance.
बात करते हैं शहीद के पिता की, जिनको पूरा देश कर रहा है सलाम। सीमा पर जब भी कोई जवान देश की रक्षा करते हुए शहीद होता है तो हम उनके परिवार वालों से आपको मिलवाते हैं। अक्सर आपने उन्हें रोते बिलखते हुए बेटे की शहादत का बदला लेने की मांग करते देखा होगा, लेकिन आज हम आपको एक ऐसे पिता से मिलवाने जा रहे हैं जिन्होंने अपने बेटे की शहादत का बदला कुछ अलग तरीके से लिया है।
उत्तराखंड की राजधानी देहरादून में रहने वाले ये हैं ब्रिगेडियर पीएस गुरुंग। 70 साल के ब्रिगेडियर गुरुंग ने 20 साल पहले 1998 में अपने इकलौते बेटे गौतम गुरुंग को खो दिया था। सीमा पर पाकिस्तान की गोलीबारी में अपने साथी जवान की मदद करते हुए गौतम गुरुंग शहीद हो गए थे।
मेरा बेटा 1996 में बीकॉम करने के बाद मास्टर्स डिग्री इंटरनेशनल बिजनेस करने के बाद भी उसे सिविल नौकरी नहीं भाई और वो फिर फौज में आ गया। कारगिल युद्ध से कुछ दिनों पहले उनका जो गोलाबारी वगैरह शुरू हुआ था, उसी गोलाबारी में उसका एक अपने जवान को, वो जो जख्मी हो गया था, उसको बचाते हुए उसको भी एक शेल का स्प्लिंटर लगा, मिसाइल का स्प्लिंटर लगा और सुबह 5 अगस्त को वो शहीद हो गया।
बेटे को खोने के बाद ब्रिगेडियर गुरुंग ने ठान लिया कि वो एक के बदले कई बेटे और बेटियों को देश की रक्षा के लिए तैयार करेंगे। उन्होंने अपने बेटे के नाम पर गौतम गुरुंग बॉक्सिंग क्लब की नींव रखी और युवाओं को खेल के साथ साथ सेना और अर्धसैनिक बलों में भर्ती के लिए मुफ्त ट्रेनिंग देने लगे। आज आलम यह है कि इस बॉक्सिंग क्लब से तैयार 57 जांबाज सरहदों की निगरानी कर रहे हैं।
इस क्लब से तकरीबन हमारे 57 बच्चे फिलहाल भर्ती हो चुके हैं। गोरखाज में, गढ़वाल, कुमाऊं, सीआरपीएफ, आईटीबीपी और पुलिस में। अभी हाल ही में एक लड़की हमारी जो पुलिस में गई थी वो एएसआई बन गई है।
गुरुंग क्लब में 6 साल से 20 साल तक के बच्चे और युवा मुक्केबाजी के गुर सीख रहे हैं। अभी इनकी संख्या काफी है। ट्रेनिंग, उपकरण जैसे बॉक्सिंग बैग, पंचिंग ग्लव्स और किट का खर्च गौतम गुरुंग ट्रस्ट उठाता है। ब्रिगेडियर गुरुंग कहते हैं कि बेटे की पेंशन का जो पैसा मिलता है उसे ट्रस्ट में डाल दिया जाता है।
मैंने 7th क्लास में ज्वाइन किया था। मैंने अपने भाई को प्रैक्टिस करते हुए देखा, तब मुझे भी वो चढ़ा, जो बॉक्सिंग करने का वो चढ़ा था। फिर उसके बाद मैंने यहाँ पर मुझे क्लब का पता चला, फिर मैंने यहाँ पर प्रैक्टिस करने आई। मैंने डिस्ट्रिक्ट नेशनल खेला है, मुझे और भी आगे जाना है।
एबीपी न्यूज ब्रिगेडियर पीएस गुरुंग के जज्बे को सलाम करता है।
ये है एबीपी न्यूज।
Indeed, sir. Brigadier Gurung, sir, I was told that you promote more of girls and girls into sport. Nice to have you, sir, because you're the one who are trying to bring in, promote. We often say, no, beti aage nahi badhti hai. But I'm happy that you have brought in a lot of daughters getting into the field of sport. So for your, now we would like you for your message and for your felicitations. So please.
In fact, I was just not prepared for this sort of presentation around here, because I would have come prepared that way. I was just told that you are a guest speaker, come. Yes. So it was a real nice, listening to the problems, that root problems of a sports person, because these are the things which make or break an athlete. So that was very nicely put up, and I'm sure we are all going to work on this much more, so that there should be no hitch for any of the sports person, be it boys or girls, to go up. Because if they have full confidence, then they can put in their best. Because otherwise, there will be a lot of pressure from their families, from their friends, and him or herself also. Because if you are not very confident, if you have a little bit of, iota of doubt also, because of all these things, then things will not move ahead. So I wish the panelists and the whole lot of people who have worked hard on this very, very hearty congratulations for this. And I must thank you for getting me here. It was really educative for me. Thank you very much.
So few questions. No, we would like to ask certain questions. So could you just tell us, because I know when as a parent you happen to lose your son, I mean, बेटा शहीद हुआ अपने राज्य के लिए, लेकिन उसके बाद how did you come out of it? Like, did you कुछ problem था? Was there anything which for some time was there a break? Can you just tell us that journey from where you switched on to this particular club that you formed?
Well, there is another angle to it, especially personally for me, because when I was commanding a brigade at Pulwama, so after my tenure was over, I suffered a heart attack. It was when one of the battalions, they had gone to Pir Panjal, and I also went along with them. It was almost about 18,000 feet. And throughout the night, we were in the operation. Next day, I came down and had a severe heart attack. So when I met a doctor, when I met a senior officer in the hospital, he asked me and then said, you have been given a life from the God. Now, if you want to live, you take it that you have lived your life. You could have, anything could have happened at 18,000 feet, but he gave you a chance. You come down, you had a heart attack here, and you gone to the hospital, you're safe. So if you want to live longer, then forget about it. You have lived your life, live for others. So that was the moment I said, yes, if I work for others, then there'll be no tension for me. I have lived my life. So that is how I started off on a different line altogether. So when my son died, now that gave me also a little bit of shock. But then I controlled myself and I said, yes, he has let me look at the positive part of it. After doing his master's in international business, he got a good job in Bombay. Now I believe that everything is slated. When we have to go or when we have to live, everything is written from the top. In army, we say ki movement order. Aapka movement order aa gaya hai, aap jaiye. So if he were to live only that much, and if he were there, he would have gone in an accident or some illness. But now that he came back, he said, now I've joined the army. And now he's been given all the respect, all the due. His statue has been established at Gorakhpur, where every year we go, all other people also give him sort of, give him a lot of honor. And a large number of people have been motivated because of that. So then I said, no, I have my own, I have enough to live for me. Whatever he is getting is not for me, it is for others. He was initially also very, very calm and quiet, and he had a healthy attitude, which he could not do because he died very early. So he said, we will fulfill his wishes. So all those things, his money, everything went into the social work and welfare. So at that point of time, when we came and when I came and settled down in Dehradun, I realized that there are a large number of, because I was also a good postman and I was a boxer also. So here I found that there was a lot of talent, but they were not getting a chance to come up. So I said, okay, I will.
I think because of connectivity issue, sir is joining again.
This has come up, so he's come back. Rosa, would you like to say something now in this regard with our brigadier? Could you just say, so maybe sir could hear you?
Can we hear him, or he's not back?
I think he can hear you, might be. Yeah, you could speak.
Okay. Well, I really appreciate his words, because it's a life lesson, in the sense that in spite of all the sufferings, and sometimes I think all of us in a way or in another have experienced very difficult situations, and well, he is showing an example of how we can keep going after maybe such a great loss or suffering moments, and of course to dedicate to support others. I think this is a very nice example, a very, very beautiful, that he supports that others and young generations can keep going on. I think this is something to speak about and to make it visible, okay? Because, for example, I have no information, no idea of the work that he was doing. So thank you very much, Dr. Usha, for bringing him in this moment, because it also an international window, and it makes others aware of good life examples, okay? So thank you very much.
Thank you, Rosa. Dr. Walter, please. For Brigadier Gurung, I need you to speak something for that.
I need to say thank you for these things to sharing with us. This is probably coming from the heart, and I really have no more to say, but I can only say I've shared the feelings, and I understand about what will be the something deep inside. There will be something that, of course, I would love to hear more. If I have the chance to come back again, and I would like to hear more.
Sorry.
Okay. So, yeah, this is something important. I can only say thank you for all the information to us, and also your heartfelt sharing from your own experiences. That is remarkable. Thank you.
Dilsad? Yeah.
Well, I'm very much connected with Indian Army, and I was a part of NCC National Cadet Corps for a long time. I have represented Republic Day Camp, and I got Director General of India Commendation Award from the NCC government. So it was a time like I was thinking to go to the Indian Army. Actually, most of my friends now, they are in Indian Army as a major, lieutenant. Yeah. So. Yeah, so it is like I'm very much connected. Yes, though I got just a drop of experience what Indian Army they really did, and their sacrifices to the country. I can really imagine. I have gone through. Even my father-in-law, he is Army retired. So my wife, once she has experienced this whole thing when she was in Rajasthan in a desert, and suddenly some fire happened there it was maybe a kind of terrorist attack there, where all the guns and ammunitions was kept there, and they were like just mad, going here and there to save their life. My wife and my mother-in-law was there alone, and my father-in-law was in duty in Kashmir on LOC actually. So I have not more to say, but I'll say to Brigadier Gurung, you have amazing life experience. You have gone through a lot of ups and downs in your life, and we all are with you. I know what is the pain of losing someone from your family. It's uncomparable. We cannot write in words. It's just feeling. And this is kind of feeling we never can express, and we can type on computer, you know. So it is just feeling. And just, we are all with you. The whole nation is with you. And now many people are coming from around the world. We all becoming your part, okay? So thank you so much. Yeah, your service to the nation, the whole country will be indebted forever. Yeah, thank you so much.
Dilsad. We have Madam Pushpalata Gurung. Can you just call sir? Gurung sir, can you just ask Madam also to come so we could see Madam? Pushpalata ma'am?
She's on the other side, in the other place.
Can we?
It'll take some time for her to come.
Okay, fine. That's.
Mrs.
It will take time?
Another 2 minutes.
2 minutes.
And I must apologize, you know.
Yeah, you could ask her to join you. But sir, I think as you heard everybody, I don't know, first we need to hats off to Lieutenant Late Gautam, because you see Gautam in everybody. That's the best part. For you, your children are there around. And I always feel is we are sleeping and enjoying, we are safe, while when you talk of all the army personnel and the defense personnel, they protect us, they wake throughout the day and night and make us at ease. So I think we never realize the problems till something happens to us. So I think, sir, it's indeed an honor to have you. And but we would like to definitely see Madam. I think in a short while from now she'll be joined.
She's just come.
Sure.
I'll just.
Sure.
ये तुम बैठो यहाँ, वो पैनल इधर है, कान में लगाओ, नमस्कार, कान में लगाओ, एक लगाओ।
नमस्ते मैडम।
नमस्कार, नमस्कार।
आपके नहीं दिख रही है, आप थोड़ा सा वीडियो में आएंगे तो अच्छा रहता, थोड़ा सा और साइड में। नमस्कार।
नमस्कार।
नाइस सीइंग यू मैडम। हम लोग का एक प्रोग्राम है यहाँ पर, तो आपका स्वागत है। एंड
जी धन्यवाद।
हाँ, तो
धन्यवाद।
हम बोल रहे थे कि आप यू आर ब्लेस्ड फैमिली वेयर, जहाँ आपके पूरे आर्मी में ही थे और जिन्होंने दुनिया के लिए, भारत के लिए इतना कुछ किया है, तो हम आपके आभारी हैं। तो आई थिंक द होल इंडिया रिमेंबर्स फॉर यू। और हमारे यहाँ इंटरनेशनल स्पीकर्स हैं, मैडम वेनेजुएला से है, मैडम रोजा, एंड नमस्कार, और कैन से हाय।
नमस्कार, नमस्कार।
एंड वी आर वॉल्टर फ्रॉम मकाओ। फिर दिलशद इंडिया का है लेकिन अभी यूएस में है। फिर आप पूजा है,
नमस्कार,
और डॉक्टर संजय प्रजापति, और हमारे पार्टिसिपेंट्स हैं 1700 पी टीचर्स हैं, ज्यादातर कश्मीर पूरे भारत के हैं। तो हमें बहुत अच्छा लग रहा है, आपके और सर से मुलाकात हुई। एंड ये हमारे लिए एक बहुत मेमोरेबल इवेंट रहेगा, बिकॉज ये बहुत अलग तरह का इवेंट है। फर्स्ट टाइम हमें ऐसा एक मिल रहा है। हम सोचे थे किसको लेके आएंगे, लेकिन सर आगे सिर्फ खेल में नहीं, सर खेल में, कल्चरल में एंड डिफेंस में, आई थिंक मल्टी एरियाज में सर ने अपना नाम रोशन करके दिखा दिया है। और सर अभी भी बैठ नहीं रहे, सर आगे चला रहे हैं बहुत सारे बच्चों को, लड़कियों को आगे बढ़ावा देने के लिए। मैडम आप कुछ बोलना चाहेंगी?
मैं क्या बोलूं, बस सर ने बहुत कुछ बोल दिया ना।
अच्छा मैम,
बहुत कुछ बोल दिया उन्होंने।
अच्छा रहा। सो
बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद। थैंक यू।
हमें धन्यवाद देना चाहिए, हमें धन्यवाद।
अरे नहीं, आप लोगों ने हमें मौका दिया ना आपने, तो कि हम आपके सामने आए, आपसे मिले।
तो आप ट्रिवेंड्रम जरूर आइएगा, वी आर इन ट्रिवेंड्रम, आप जरूर आइएगा।
पक्का आएंगे तो।
दे आर इन वेरी फार ऑफ, वी आर इन ट्रिवेंड्रम, आपको जरूर आइएगा।
बिल्कुल, थैंक यू, धन्यवाद बहुत बहुत।
On behalf of the Ministry of Youth Affairs and Sports, Government of India, Khelo India, I'd like to thank Brigadier Gurung sir and Madam Pushpalata for having joined us. Thank you so much for being a part of this function and joining as a panelist. Thank you, sir. And I would like to
thank you very much.
Honors and salute to the late Gautam, sir. I'd like to thank our dignified speaker, Dr. Dilsad Ahmed. It was a wonderful session on behalf of GAIN, Ministry of Youth Affairs and Sports, Government of India, Khelo India, Sai LNCP. I need to thank you. Thank you so much for your
thank you so much
thank you so valuable session that you've taken. Thank you. I'd like to thank Dr. Rocha, who is the president of the ICSSPE. I've been trying to learn that. So thank you so much for being a part and making it a global platform, and your contribution is very significant. I'd also like to thank Walter. Walter, thank you so much.
Thank you for that.
I think you are a bunch of for research. Researchers will be doing behind you to get in. There are a lot of things that are coming in. So it's nice to have known you, and thank you so much for being a part of this. And I'd like to thank Dr. Sanjay Prajapati for being the host, Ms. Pooja for being our panelist, and my dear teachers, as I always say, it's because of you that we are having such a program. So once again, everybody here, happy Onam, and thank you so much.
Yes, okay. Bye-bye.
Happy Onam.
Yes,
thank you for that. Thank you. Thank you for that.
There's just one I'd like to say. Abhi ke beta? We have got a news immediately that the former president of India, Pranab Mukherjee sir, has passed away. So let's just observe a minute's silence. For all of you, all those who are present here, we'll have a minute's silence. Thank you. Thank you. For the feedback form, please. For the feedback and for the information of the participants, we do have the sessions till 4th September. Please look into Sai LNCP and Khelo India page. This is the feedback. Kindly fill in the feedback, please.
Dr. Usha, please, while they are filling the feedback, could you just tell a bit more about what Madam Gurun said?
Madam said was she was indeed very happy that they got an opportunity, and sir, you could speak, sir. Brigadier, sir. Sir, could you share what Madam said? Because they don't understand the other English, yeah.
Yeah. Now, she's not very good in English, so, you know, and also she's not computer savvy, so she was quite nervous, but she said, you know, good wishes for all of you all. And she said that she's very happy to have come in front of all of you and, you know, express herself and her feelings and thank you all. That's exactly what she said.
It was nice to hear that, sir, because many a time, as sir said, it depends from culture to culture. Many cases, like ma'am was a bit, maybe she wasn't that free to speak because she thought, but she did speak, convey to us that it, I heard this, that this opportunity was given. But indeed, I think it was, what's the language that you happen to speak, sir?
Hindi.
Hindi only you speak at home. Okay.
No, at home we speak Nepali.
Nepali.
But otherwise, yes, we are fluent with Hindi.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. So Rosa
Okay,
Stars in
thank you very
Dehradun.
much.
It's a beautiful place. I think now Walter and because Dilsad is already familiar. It's a beautiful place, Dehradun. So next time when Rosa comes, I'll bring them. I'll bring them to various. I've given them an invitation, and I told them we're going to take them across the country because we have links, and we have Jammu and Kashmir. It's one of the most beautiful place to go. So I think the country is beautiful.
And Dehradun is a lovely place. We have a lovely weather here, and it's supposed to be known as the place of gods and goddesses.
Yeah, I request Pooja to say a few words. Pooja, Hindi mein bol. Pooja,
thank you, sir. Thank you. आपने हमारा जो आज का प्रोग्राम था उसके लिए एक्सेप्ट किया है और यहाँ पर आके आपने अपने शेयर किए सभी के साथ, और इसके लिए आपको बहुत बहुत थैंक यू। और हमारा एसोसिएशन बहुत पुराना, मेरा और सर का, जब मैं NIS करके आई थी, after completing my NIS, when I meet first time in Dehradun, Brigadier sir, he's very nice man and encouraging to juniors, and we organized one tournament, Gautam Gurung Memorial Boxing Tournament. सर ने बहुत सपोर्ट किया और फाइनेंशियली और हमेशा मुझे एनकरेज किया कुछ अच्छा करने के लिए। तो thank you so much, sir. Thanks for coming.
And Pooja is a boxing coach. She has produced boxers. She's got a small girl. I feel so happy. She promotes girls and she makes her run. It's so nice looking at her the way she coaches. I used to be, the way she looks, so she's too good. And I used to find her making the man. How old was the girl? 8 years. She's around 8 years. She's preparing young girls to be as good boxers. So thank you, sir, for producing such boxers. So when you talk about this, very tough. And as you said, people think twice before they have to talk. So Pooja is tough. Yeah, I tell her she's a bodyguard. When you go around, I say we have a bodyguard, so nothing to worry about. Usha madam is tough. I look very leaner in comparison.
No. Usha madam, one woman army.
No.
Dr. Usha, can you hear me? Yeah. So actually, I'll have to leave very soon.
Sure.
Just before leave, I just want to say that I really have a special thanks to Dr. Walter as well, because the sexual abuse research is the first time conducted in India in the collaboration of I and Dr. Walter, who really helped tremendously. He has actually contribution for our country. So, and this research now is going, we saw the first seed in India. So you all are welcome to reach out to Dr. Walter or to me, because we are also thinking, just want to give a little response to the Walter question. He was like very solid with his question when he was asking if we have something at a global level. That's for sure. We have a lot of things to share about this, because it's need to be revealed. So kindly just open up. And I'm also like requesting the audience, the ladies and gentlemen, just write to me, to throw you to me, to Walter, maybe just reach out, because we are just taking the things to the next level. And we are associated with a lot of good people here, because this is not just research, as you and Dr. Walter Rosa said. It is not just research, it's a part of our life, human life, and we'll have to take it ahead. So yeah, we'll have to think about. So with just this note, again, thank you, Brigadier Groom, to come here. It was awesome. Thank you so much, Dr. Nair. Thank you so much for giving this opportunity. And especially to Dr. Walter, again, that you really contributed and for our country, and you came into the paper, and today we have did something, and it is in the shape of publication in the world website. Thank you so much, Walter, everyone. Rosa, thank you so much.
Okay. It's all right. Actually.
Yeah.
Walter is a part of our family right now, because he's already had 3-4 sessions. So we are already associating, and it's No, I appreciate your effort, but as I said, that's why I said not with sexual, but otherwise, I think we are actually known because he's been taking sessions, and that's why I said it's a bunch in terms of research. So there'll be people as already in queue to reach to Walter.
Yeah.
Because
Yes,
he had
yes.
last time during the even last time he had put across and he wanted. So I think it's really nice to have Walter, because that's we require such people who are there, which can bring in the real kind of thing to reveal and bring out. You need evidence-based research. That is what is required. Like so, I think that's good. Good to have you.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Yeah, thank you. Yeah.
Welcome. It was nice having you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Bye bye.
Everybody.
Bye. Bye. Bye.
Prajapati. Bye.
Thank you and namaste. Namaste.
Thank you.
And a high five.
Bye bye.
Thank you.
We end with the high five.
Namaste
Sarah.
and high five.
High five. Thank you. See you tomorrow. See you tomorrow. Don't miss out tomorrow's Special Olympics. We have got 3 experts from US, Ireland, and 2 from US. It's going to be a wonderful session. Please do join us tomorrow for the evening session.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Namaskar. Namaskar. Thank you.
Namaskar, sir. Namaskar, sir. Sir, बहुत अच्छा रहा आपका session. Brigadier sir. Sir.
Hello. Sir.
बहुत echo आ रहा है. Too much of echo.
ऐसी बात है. Okay. Thank you. Thank you, my teachers. Everybody, thank you so much.